Namaste. Welcome. Today we are talking about the best books of July 2022, by which I mean the best books that I read in July 2022. So it's been a little while since I've done a book review, and it's been a little while since I've been on YouTube. But that's the way life goes sometimes. So anyway, welcome back. Let's make this a regular monthly thing again. Now, the first book that I want to talk to you about is this one, Rage Becomes Her. So last month during my moon circles, there was a lot of anger that came up between myself and the ladies, and there was a lot going on last month, right? It was a really crazy month. So many stupid rules and regulations and the ongoing destruction of our planet. Anyway, we're empaths in that group. We're all empaths. Empaths feel things. We had a bit of trouble with our anger. So I thought, I'm going to go and find some books to help us move through our anger, particularly because women struggle with processing anger. Women have been trained from a very young age that it is not appropriate for us to express rage and anger. So I just wanted to help. So I thought, I'm going to go and do a bit of reading. And this book was recommended to me. So what I was hoping for was a bunch of techniques and strategies that I could use to help the ladies in Moon Circle and myself process anger more easily, so that we could come out the other side being having processed it, dealt with it, and being productive with it, as opposed to bottling it up and holding it in, which is what we are trained to do. We are seethers. We just hold it in until we can't do that anymore, and then we explode or we hurt ourselves, whatever. Anyway, what this book actually is a list. Look how thick this is. This book is a list of all the reasons why women are angry. Hard going, to say the least. It's a slog. Every single reason in here is like totally valid. When I read it, I was like, yeah, that's exactly how I feel, and that's exactly why. There was a lot in the beginning chapters that I learned about how we are conditioned, the subtleties as we are raised, that contribute to us not being able to process our anger. So while this book didn't offer me what I was looking for, it was a really, I'm not going to say it was a good read, because I was angry the whole way through. I was reading it and my rage was building, so I had to, maybe I did get what I needed, because I had to figure out how to process my anger while I was reading and building on anger. Anyway, I would recommend this book if you do feel a lot of anger and don't know why you find it so difficult to process it. I would also recommend this book if by some random chance you are a man and you want to know a little bit about female conditioning in society. If you have daughters and you don't want daughters that cannot express their anger, because anger is a righteous emotion. There is nothing wrong with being angry, but it is used, the suppression of anger, being able to express your anger as a woman, the suppression of that from toddler age means that you are more pliable as an adult to the system. It means that you experience more self-loathing, because when you don't express an emotion and you swallow it, whether it's anger, fear, grief, anything, if you suppress that emotion, you're suppressing a part of yourself, and then that leads to being disconnected from yourself. So no wonder so many of us get to my age and think, well, what have I done with my life? This isn't what I wanted from life. It's because we've been so busy suppressing our emotions, because we've been told that we have to in order to get on. So I recommend this book if you want to learn more about women, their emotions, particularly if you're male. And if you want to get a handle on why you find it so hard to express your emotions, I definitely recommend it. It's a hard read, I'm not going to lie to you. It's a really hard read. The thing that kept coming to my mind while I was reading this was, we have got to dismantle this patriarchal society that we're in. Enough. It isn't just destroying women, it's destroying everything, because when women aren't seen and heard in society, that has a ripple on effect. We need to be in balance. So, well written, well researched, difficult to read, but worth the effort. And I am going to keep looking for ways to help us process our emotions. I want to come up with a whole course that women can do so that we can no longer feel like we do, like the feelings in this book, depicted in this book. So definitely get this book and read it. Really good. Okay, best books of July 2022. Book number 2, on a completely different vein, Why Woo Woo Works. This book was recommended to me because I use those words. You would have heard me use those words all the time. Woo woo this and woo woo that. I love it. So this was recommended to me, and it's a scientific breakdown of why certain things that society labels woo woo, like crystal healing, like Reiki, affirmation, meditation, all of those things. It's a scientific breakdown of why it works. Now, I don't need a scientist to tell me, oh, this really works. I know that it works because I've experienced it. You can't deny your own experiences, right? And many of you would feel the same way. What I did love about this book, and why I would recommend that you go out and read this book, is, first of all, not everyone is a believer. So it's good to be able to have the science, to know the science, to say, well, actually, this is how Reiki works, and science has proven that it works, and these are the studies that have been done. It is also a little bit affirming to know that, hey, you know, this is for real. But the thing that I loved the most about reading this book was that the more science the author, David Hamilton, the more science that he presented, the more magic that was opened up. It was like, here's the scientific reason why. And in explaining the dry science behind it, it kind of opened the universe up more. It was more like, you're kidding me. That is amazing. What else? What else is out there in the world that we don't yet know about? It was a real brain and heart-opening experience to read this book. It's also a really beautiful look. If you're a skeptic and you, for some reason, you're here, you know, stranger things have happened. If you are a skeptic, go out and get this book, because Dr. Hamilton has some really good strategies on how to be a great human and not make believers feel like they're idiots, basically. Strategies for how to approach people and allow people to have their own beliefs without poo-pooing them. And in the process, make yourself a better human being and open your mind more as well. There's always something new to learn. So I give this book definitely a 5 out of 5. Really, really interesting read, and good for believers and non-believers to know that this stuff is really real and how it works. So go out and get yourself a copy of that. That is all for this month. Best books of July 2022. I read a lot more, but these two were the two that I really just thought, you know, they need a mention. They are definitely well worth your read. I hope that was helpful, and I will speak with you again about books, plants, woo-woo things in the next video. If you haven't yet subscribed, please do. Namaste.